Thanks, Wayne. Awesome job. In my defense, I only have one kid, so I'm going to be lengthy. I am going to be lengthy. But I'm so glad to meet everybody here, to see people that we haven't seen for a while, and especially glad to have Megan's mom here all the way from Halifax, and to meet Megan's sister from Fort McMurray and her father from Edmonton, and to everyone that traveled. Thank you so much for being here. Dan and Corey from Victoria, my brothers from Vancouver and from the Okanagan, Brian and Vanessa from Burnaby, or Mission, sorry, and Paul's kids from Burnaby and from Kelowna. Thank you to everyone that traveled. And thank you, Megan, for having you here rather than at that there jasmine, purple, green, whatever, Emerald Lake in the middle of Alberta, whatever. You know, as Jesse was growing up, I quite often remember thinking, what happens if he ends up with someone that I don't particularly like? You know, I only got the one son and whatever, and so I'm just, or, okay, so hypothetically, unimaginably, you know, that they wouldn't like me. So I'm so glad we got Megan. So I was trying to figure out what I'm supposed to say at my son's wedding. Almost a funeral. Wedding. And not to worry, I'll Google that. And this is what I learned. You can't always trust the Google. Because if I said all that sentimental stuff, Jesse's eyes would be rolling around in it. And then I thought he also probably doesn't want me to talk about embarrassing things. You know, he doesn't want me to. So I'm not gonna talk about how he toilet trained himself by only peeing off the front deck. Well, for years everything was yellow, the grass, the snow, the dog. I'm not even gonna bring that up. But I am proud of Jesse. You know, he didn't actually become a pro golfer and get me that beige Porsche that we had picked up with that, splitting hairs. No, I am proud of Jesse and what he's done for himself and the choices that he's made. And but then I've always been proud of Jesse. His independent and adventurous spirit, and because he has a very kind heart. And to me in life, that's what's most important. And I look around at some of these lifelong friends that are here, and I'm so glad that Jesse's had wonderful friends and good influences. Well, his friends were good influences as far as they let me be aware anyways. But, you know, so I was talking to AJ there earlier, and AJ and Jesse have been friends since they were preschool. And, you know, AJ's all grown up and got married last year himself and everything. And it's hard not to look at AJ and think, yeah, you always had to be the red Power Ranger, didn't you? but I want to say thank you to Megan and Jesse's friends and to Megan's sister for being here and supporting them and celebrating with them. And I don't know the girls well, but I figure you must be all cool with Megan's friends with you. But I do want to just quickly say thank you to the guys. To Stephen and Jesse became friends when they met when they were in college, and then later they became roommates. And I was always glad that Jesse had a good friend and a good support when the big city was indeed the big city. So Stephen and Jesse have one of those kind of friendships that, you know, get them together with a little bit of the Canadian whiskey and, well, significantly more than a little, but anyway, they're to solve all the problems of the world type, except they can solve the NFL and whatever. Their approach is interesting. It's best described as if Donald Trump ever became a philosopher. And then, you know, there's Landon. Well, no, you don't know Landon. Nobody knows. I don't know. I do not know where Landon actually came from. There's just always been Landon. Landon with his crazy, sarcastic, irreverent, sometimes a little too irreverent sense of humor, but Landon, a good friend and a very courageous person. And then Mark and Jesse were friends since they were like little kids, and then growing up as teenagers, they were big friends. And Mark clearly was the more stable of the two. Things change. Anyway, so Mark's family was like Jesse's second family, and I was glad about that. So I remember this one time, so Mark and Jesse, they were going to sleep out in the tree fort. but they're scared because something's going to eat them or whatever. It's 25 feet up in the air, but one can never be too cautious about such matters. Anyway, so I'm taking out popcorn and stuff, and not good enough. Nope, I had to sleep out there with them. Actually, it was about 1:30, I think we all came in because I was scared. But anyway, the point was, Mark, honestly, thank you for being a good friend and good support to Jesse for many, many years, and for coming all this way from Vancouver to be with him. And then Patrick. So Patty and Jesse were friends since like kindergarten, and Patty was always just a happy little kid, you know. He's a happy person, happy little kid. I don't know if he just has this dumb blonde thing going on or whatever, but so he'd come over and he'd shoot pucks at Jesse downstairs for hours on end, and kind of nice because then we didn't have to discipline him. But so this is an example of how optimistic and cheery that Patrick is. He still believes, has all his life, that one day, any day now, his Toronto Maple Leafs will be bringing that cup home. But I know we're all very glad that Patrick's here with us today. And then I also want to say thank you to Kevin, because above anything else, Kevin always was and continues to be a great father, a great dad to Jesse. And I'm glad about that. Okay, so Megan and Jesse. Well, I won't be offering up any marriage advice because except for one thing. So many years ago, a wise man once told me many years ago, it was actually only a couple years ago, it was my younger brother, but who knew he had a brain? Anyway, he said he didn't just love his wife, he liked her. And even if they hadn't been married, he would have liked her because who she is. That is more important than you know. I know you're buddies. Stay buddies. And in the end, be kind to each other because that really does just trump everything. And to Megan, I got nothing. Sorry seems inappropriate. I did hear that if a man says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. You don't need to keep reminding them every 6 months. But I love you both. And to Jesse, thanks for picking Megan. I'm very happy you're my son.
You got him, Mom.
Thank you for being my buddy, and through all the years, just thank you for so much.